Thanks for joining us as we take a closer look at the recent release of K-Pop Demon Hunters, otherwise known as
Bubblegum Apocalypse itself.
Always something with you, isn't it? Don't you like the original titles? You got your own.
Yeah.
But they're better.
I like mine. They're better.
You should go
your
to
titles
marketing.
are better. Definitely.
Yeah, do it my way or it won't sell.
My name is John Newton, science fiction author, and to cover our review of this movie and so much more, I'm joined by
Ryan Schultz,
science fiction author, and
Eric from Your Brother in Christ.
yes. Before we get started, smash that like button, subscribe, and tell us in the comments, have you seen K-Pop Demon Hunters? Do you have any desire whatsoever to see it? Do you know anyone who has seen it? Now, the target audience...
I hope so.
Yeah.
At this
I
point.
feel like a lot of people have seen it.
They're happy. Actually, it is quite popular, and that's why we're covering it here. The target audience for this movie is ages 13 through 25, especially female viewers of middle age through college. Anyone, especially female. Wouldn't you say especially female?
I
with
suppose
this?
so.
I'd say more like he's the target audience.
I feel like I'm the target audience.
Do you really?
36-year-old man.
Okay, all right. Given that, do you know of anybody other than him who might be in this range, that might be interested in this movie? Now, I got to tell you right off the bat, we're going to do a spoiler-free synopsis, and then we're going to get into doing a bit of a review with it. It's going to be a little bit different for us today. So the tagline for this movie is "Sing your truth, slay your demons." K-Pop Demon Hunters follows the story of three young women, Rumi, Mira, and Zoe. Who is the main character in this?
Rumi
Absolutely. There's a lot of room. Who by day are rising K-pop idols under the group name Huntrix, and by night serve as demon hunters guarding humanity from dark spirits. You think that name gives them
Wasn't
a
very
It's a little on the nose, isn't it?
Yeah,
Nope.
it is. Like if you knew
That is
German,
close.
and you watched the original Star Wars,
You can tell.
you might know that Darth Vader is somebody's father, maybe Luke's, because it means dark father, I guess, in German.
Oh.
So they do this. So in K-Pop Demon Hunters, you have this female K-pop band that by day they play as these singers, and by night they slay these demons. Their songs are not just performances. They channel magical power that performs a barrier, protecting human souls from the malevolent demons seeking to steal them. When a rival boy gang emerges, led by
Boy bang.
Jinu.
Boy gang.
Gang? I didn't know we
They're
had
kinda like a
gangs.
gang.
Band.
Right?
Boy
band.
Boy band. That's why you
Boy
guys
gang,
are here.
Boy band.
Boy band.
It's the same thing.
When that shows up, the trio must face new trials, both in the music world and in supernatural battles. Tension builds between identity, public persona, shame, and the hidden burdens each member carries, all set within a dazzling visuals, high energy, choreography, and a score of original K-pop style songs.
That's a lot.
Ratings. All right. So what did you guys think about this? We're not going to be doing numbering today, unless you really, really want to. Then we'll do numbering. But other than that, what were your thoughts about this? Open discussion. Spoiler free.
Spoiler free. Okay.
Spoiler free.
You want to go or should I go?
I'll follow your lead.
Okay. First of all, just heads up. This is terms matter. These are not the same demons that you find in the Bible. These are not the same sort of concept around them. They aren't. This is more the Eastern concept of demons, which is more of a monster evil force-ish, where someone can turn into a demon by being evil and being corrupt.
Mm-hmm.
That sort of concept.
And we're going to go into that deeper later.
Yeah.
What did you think of the movie?
All in all, I thought they did a good mixture of comedy, and as long as you keep that in mind, I thought it was a good mixture of comedy and
adventure.
Sort of adventure. I thought the writing was pretty decent. The animation was great. They really did a great job. This is a little bit different than the movies we normally do because you have the anime side of it, which, yes, if the art style is going to make my eyes bleed, I'm going to give it a low rating, no matter what the story is.
Well, this was different style than typical anime, right?
Yeah, this is more Korean sort of style.
Yeah, there was a lot of realism with it though too, right? Some of the animation, like some of the backgrounds and everything, like it was well done. I don't know if they used computer-aided design.
It was a mixture of drawing and animation. They did the same style with the Spider-Verse.
Yes, and you could see that in their advertisements. They do talk,
and that style is getting really popular with Sony right now, and it's kind of running circles around Disney and Pixar. But more on that later, I'm sure. I really enjoyed this movie. I think that I went into it very skeptical, but I heard enough positive things about it, and I heard that it had like actually different type of writing than a lot of animated movies are coming out with now. And I was curious enough to see if they were going to kind of bring that back a little bit in terms of its approach. And I really did think that was the biggest sell, was just how they did these characters and the story. I just could not help but root for them, because it was just such breath of fresh air compared to a lot of the modern writing and the messages and the agendas that they have. It just was so like, this was like an animated movie from my childhood. Like they really just leaned in a lot more into just genuine characters without having to be apologetic. And it would like, I did really start. I really enjoyed the characters, really enjoyed the three main characters and just how they were written and how relatable they were. And I don't know. I think that was probably the main thing, was the characters. The animation and the music were great, but if it wasn't for the characters, I would.
Okay. I would agree with both of you. I think the humor did carry it through. This had, I would say, kind of typical anime humor. Would you say on that? It was
so.
It wasn't gross. Sometimes you have the Japanese stuff where it's gross with a lot of blood, guts, and just
exaggerated everything.
Yeah,
exaggerated.
It was not. You do have some expressions that they come across, and we'll check out.
Yeah.
We'll check out the trailer. We'll go through the trailer a bit here, and you'll see some of that. Was there.
I think they did a good mixture with it. It wasn't overwhelming.
Yeah.
And the characters were still relatable. You had a lot of the characters doing just small things that end up just being relatable. It's a good mixture. Again, keep that in mind with the whole demon thing, that don't downplay demons.
Yeah,
they are real
we'll get into that for sure.
Think of them as monsters, and that's about it. Fantasy monsters, and that's it.
Yeah. So one of the other things too that kind of, I was looking at that and I was wondering if it's going to go a certain direction. But I was soft pedaling it because it didn't seem like it was really heading there. Was you got the girl boss thing going on?
Yes.
And they're kicking butt and they're doing all that. But then, if they're given these magical powers, and you can see that. And it's
sure.
But it had more to do. It was a lot of tongue in cheek with it too. It wasn't like they were trying to prove themselves. We can do just as much as boys can. Although they were fighting that other band. And I think I can say that spoiler free. It was more of a fight them, love them at the same time, because also there was a female attraction. There was like a lot of romance going on.
Again, it wasn't push. It didn't feel like it was pushing the agenda.
Yeah.
And I think just in the culture that we're at, if you have a half decent movie, even though I think this might be, I do think it's above half decent, but even a half decent movie right now that does not push an agenda. People want entertainment.
Yeah, I think it happened with like Minecraft and some others that came out. They weren't particularly top notch, but they did well because of the competition.
And they really played to the fans and did a lot of fan service.
Yes, they did.
That was lots of inside jokes that made people feel like they're part of the in crowd, which that helps.
Well, I'm going to check the chat here and say,
Thomas Hall.
We should have. Thomas said, shouldn't we have a female perspective? What would Elle give it?
She hasn't seen it. And she won't give it a number anyway.
Yeah, that's right. She doesn't like giving numbers. So actually, this time she would fit in.
And it just didn't work out scheduling wise.
No, okay. I was wondering about that. I was wondering if that would be.
She was invited, but it did not work out with family.
Okay. Well, I know you guys are busy with things. And then all I know is that Melanie Mack is a fan. I feel too old to care. Maybe 20 years ago. All right, Thomas. We won't ask for a confession on your age here, but Any you're
Okay,
all right.
I already said my age. Just for
no comments here.
In
my defense.
his defense, I did watch it too before we decided to do this review. So
all right. I gotta tell
I
you,
was curious. There were some reviews I was hearing about it. I wanted to see what it said. I was not too enthusiastic at the beginning, but it pulled it off.
So we got Mythic Dolphin. That's a great name.
I don't think I've seen him before.
K-pop Demon Hunter is a fantastic movie. Well, welcome, Mythic.
It's got its own acronym.
You know what? I gotta tell you though, when I first started watching that, I was like, I did not like it. I thought, I've already committed myself.
You mean like the first scene? That
first couple scenes, I thought, man, this is such a female flick. I'm not gonna think. And they're so much into like fashion and all that kind of stuff, and I thought, it's just not my thing. But it did develop into, I think
the knee-jerk reaction to that is mostly off of just the agenda being pushed.
Well, so that, and I look at our society, and we're so vain in so many things that I just thought, this is just dripping with vanity. But then they did get to the deeper issues there with each of the girls, and they each had their own stuff that's going on.
And that was good.
I think, that's where the strength of the story lies. Jumping ahead a little bit, but I think that this story hits some strings with that age group, particularly, and maybe older people too, looking for identity, looking for shame, having things that are hidden, having all those kind of things that are there. And how do you deal with that? I'm hiding stuff because I don't want people to see. We're so social media focused on stuff. I've got to keep my persona alive out there, right? Taking my pictures or whatever. I don't want to let people see this problems I'm really struggling with. Sure. And so I think that this dealt with it a lot. Don't want to get sidetracked, but I think there's a lot of that going on here too. Said, oh gosh, so many. Soundtrack on repeat. Soundtrack.
There's a lot of good music on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's really engaging, really.
She purchases sheet music. And then she's got a lot of good things here. My family attended the sing-along in the movie theater after discovering this movie. I was on Netflix and watching it together. They had a sing-along.
Okay, this is really interesting. So this was not released in theaters initially, and the theaters are like, no, we should have had this, but we already had it out there. So they're scrambling. What can we do? Let's make this.
You know what? You could do that,
so you can sell tickets still.
You can't do that just on your own home. I could see where it's like because after COVID and everything, we're so isolated. We really do need community, and I could see something like that working.
Well, that and yes, it's got a lot of catchy songs. People seem to have really enjoyed the song. It's a comedy that's like the bad guys are doing that song, and then the girls start dancing.
Yeah, everyone's doing that.
Everyone's doing it. It's like the girls start doing it. It's like, okay, that's good comedy.
And it's just fun.
It's clean.
Yeah.
I got to put this in here. There's a couple more comments I can't pass up. A confession time. I am a mom. Okay.
Welcome.
So Mythic Dolphin. I don't know. She could be a mom within that age range, but I'm not sure. I'm not asking your age. Okay. But there it is. And I'm Gen X.
Okay. Okay. Hooray. That's fine.
Let's hear for Gen X.
That's good.
Not that I'm
Gen X. You're not Gen X?
I'm definitely 100% Gen X. Anime. Okay, don't ask anymore. We'll just leave it like that. Anime is usually a little more balanced with the girl boss since they tend to have more men with lots of plot armor as well. I think that's, and the other thing too is that if it's coming from Asia, a lot of the anime, they're not dragged down by that. I think that's one reason why anime has been.
It's a different culture.
Oh, the plot armor?
No. With woke philosophy that you got to have diverse characters and all that kind of stuff.
They're not as mindful of that, so therefore
that kind of philosophy is choking out our not just movies, but just across the board. I think because you have to do that.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and I think the interesting thing, you can call this a girl boss type movie, but it's still feels so different than other girl boss
I
movies.
would not
And so
call
like
it-
maybe
yeah.
when you call it something else, I don't know.
It's
like,
not because that's not the main
It's
focus.
just female protagonists.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just
It
female
has nothing to
protagonists
do with the fact that they're
with their-
females.
with their own values.
It does actually have a lot
Well,
to do.
But like it could have, you could have swapped the genders. You know what I mean? It could have been like,
no, I don't think so.
I
But
don't
it
think
wasn't.
well, why not?
Well, no, because of the relationship oriented.
But
more than with the guys.
Oh, okay. I
But
guess so.
and their target audience. But it wasn't like we've got to one up. We've got to show. Okay, the problem with the female.
they were trying to one up the guys.
Yeah, but not because they're females.
Not because they're females. They're just trying to beat them in competition.
Yeah.
It's the problem with feminism today is you're trying to make women into men.
Yeah.
The strength of men and say this is how you be strong.
Yeah.
Women have their own feminine strength that we need.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
I
if we
think
try
this
to
movie
force that, we miss it.
shows some of that just with their relationship and the
I think
friendship they have with each other. Absolutely.
Okay. So we talked about the goods. Is there any bad in here that you guys would throw out to say, it missed it on this. It was really poor.
I think I would kind of go off of what you were saying a little bit earlier. I think if they would have just switched to the word monsters instead of demons, K-pop Monster Hunters, I think it would really help a lot of this kind of spiritual confusion, like in terms of messaging. And I think there were a couple things with their characters that I wasn't as big of a fan of, but I'm going to have to wait till spoiler territory before I get into
Okay. All right.
I
Would you agree with that?
I would agree with that. Again, the whole concept of muddying the waters when it comes to demons.
Yeah.
This is something definitely a lot of anime do, a lot of, just because, again, it comes from a different culture, a different mindset, it doesn't mean the same thing. Just like whenever whenever I'm talking to a Muslim, the terms we use aren't necessarily we might use the same word, but we're not meaning the same thing. I say sin, I mean the absolute separation from God, absolute just no good at all. They're referring to it as more of a test and get bad points, good points, measurement, where no, you got to define those terms to make sure you're talking about the same thing. And don't get confused. These demons aren't the demons you're looking for.
I have to have that clip up here somewhere. Just put that in there with Obi-Wan, just like every once in a while pop up. So let's before we get into the spoiler section, let's take a look at part of the trailer. We'll look at some more of the trailer in a bit. Why am I not seeing that?
It's probably because StreamYard changed things, and they like changing things on people.
The world will know you as pop stars. But you will be much more than that. You will be hunters.
Hey, this is the men's bathhouse. Get out of here.
Okay, so that is
like the comedy that's in there.
I was hoping to play some music so I can get it stuck in my head.
Well, and the problem here too is we can only show so much. And I think it wasn't as smooth for whatever reason. Not going into why that is, but you can kind of get a flavor there. You see the animation that's being used. You see the snappy, there's snappy dialogue.
Very saturated.
It is.
Yeah,
it just one
Very
after
quick
another.
pace.
And so you got to pay attention to what's going on. And the humor and sarcasm comes through at points where, I don't know, I'm not sure what you would put that. It almost sort of like Guardians of the Galaxy. This is like we're going to die, but we're going to make it funny doing so.
Oh, interesting. And they're usually singing a song to it as something very like serious is happening, which is very Guardians of the Galaxy. They put a soundtrack to it.
Yes. Well, let's take a little bit more of this, and I'll take a note. We'll just take a sidebar and talk about Netflix here as well in a minute.
They're stealing the souls of our fans? Let's send those disgusting demons back to the depths where they belong! Yeah!
What is the word?
Okay, so you see
I'm
that?
gonna lose your head over me.
No, it's for those over. it's a good mix.
The facial,
It's a good mix where it's not because you'll get it's serious. Okay, no, they're having fun with it.
Yeah, they really felt so human, like as opposed to all these other girl bosses. Like they gave them the right to be feminine and fun and not have it all together and just like I just love it.
Oh, I could kind of guess what your rating would have been on this without even giving a number. All right, so we're going to go into the spoilers section next. Now, this is going to be if you want to see the movie and you haven't and you'd like to, go ahead and do that. Then I do want to take a sidebar real quick and talk about Netflix. So recent events happening. Netflix has been boycotted several times, and I think for good reason. I've been a part of that to say, no more. This is the junk that they're putting out. Don't want to do it. And if I get blacklisted as an author and they do not put up all the movies that are pending right now under my writing.
Really?
No, none at all. But anyway, in the future, sometime if that happens and I get blacklisted, so be it. Some of this junk they're putting out, we shouldn't. I don't think we should support it out. What were you going to add to that?
Well, how long has that been out there? Like, was that long before K-pop?
Yeah.
Really? See, I didn't really, and it was just brought to the surface as of recent? Is that how
Well, there was because Elon Musk said something, I forget what it was, the reason I should have prepared.
Like he was unsubscribing.
Yeah. And
showing examples.
And there was some things that they were doing. I think it's like, yeah, this is not good. It really shouldn't. And their stock has gone down when Elon said that, and a bunch of other things that happened because of it.
Yeah.
But on the other, I think we should vote with our feet. But on the other hand, if Netflix is sitting there and saying, well, we just lost that segment of the viewership, we can't cater to them anymore. Well, let's just start catering to these others. Maybe the better thing to do is to vote by what you watch,
the viewer, like the views on
what you choose to watch, right? And if you filter that and you watch just certain things, then they say, "Oh, we're making money on this. Let's just start doing this."
Yeah.
Way back when, during my childhood, there was something called Nielsen ratings, where they would gather information from families that were watching. It's very when they broadcast TV through radio waves,
Radio waves?
Yeah. Radio waves.
Wow, really showing your age there a little
bit. The
bit.
electromagnetic spectrum. Okay, so part of the electromagnetic spectrum. They're broadcasting that, but they get no feedback. They can't tell who's watching this.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Unlike
nowadays
when you can do that, and they can tell exactly when you pause.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff.
When people stop watching, all that type of stuff.
Right, and it's great feedback for them. So now we have an opportunity better to vote by what we choose. So that there's some give and take with that sort of philosophy, I guess, with it. Which is a better approach? I don't know. But in saying this, we can choose this show, and even though it's not a Christian show, we can say, "Hey, this is clean. This is better than some of the other garbage that's out there." Would you guys kind of agree?
In the right direction.
It is a step in the right direction. Absolutely.
So we can vote with that. I'm just going to check real quick to see. Okay, Grim Reaper.
Don't know what that was referring to.
Maybe it was something that we were talking about.
Okay, we have some other comments here. I'm going to roll back a little bit. Okay, so way back. Okay, sorry. This is live, guys. This is live stuff. Anime is usually a little more balanced with the girl.
Okay, we read that one. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for your. Like I said, live. Did we do this one?
No.
Okay, I suspect Girl Boss American film is about over, except for Alita Battle Angel.
That's a good
They need to finish that sequel. Well, you know what, though? With her, we did a review on that one, too. Right?
Okay, I wasn't there for that.
No, you weren't. Yeah, it was a good one. I thought.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah.
And it was handled well. She was a girl boss, but it all had to do... It's okay. Part of the problem with the girl boss thing is men are physically stronger than women on average.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you might have a really strong woman on one end of the curve that can beat a man on the other end, but it's by and large upper body strength, all that kind of stuff. That's one of the male strengths. You try to force women into that, it doesn't work, and you leave the good stuff behind that women are really good at to be able to get to it.
Yeah.
So Alita Battle Angel, though, she's a robot.
Sure.
She's an android, and it all has to do with what's going on in the inside, the technology there. And she did have special technology.
Sure.
So she was able to be that. So that's, I think, an exception to the rule in that.
And in K-pop Demon Hunter, they had mystical powers that allowed them to slay demons. So,
Yes. Now, what the difference was with Captain Marvel, she had mystical powers too, but her big thing was don't let men push you around.
Yeah.
And so that was
and we can even go deeper than that.
That, and you kind of had characters that you already liked, and then she came in and just like wiped the floor with all the characters you actually liked.
Yeah.
And that's not a good way of setting up someone else you're supposed to like.
Weird replacement thing.
Yeah.
Like
don't replace the people we like.
Right. Okay, so got some others here. You got some great comments going on. Saja in Korean has two meanings: lion, hence join the pride, or Grim Reaper. Okay, that's where Grim Reaper was. Ooh, that's like
that's an interesting.
That is a double edge right there, because she was like both characteristics.
Huh.
That's interesting.
Interesting choice.
And then stop motion Barbie dolls. Okay, the stop motion was because of our bandwidth is not very good, and that's why you get the jerky pattern. But the animation is much better than that. Yeah. Do stop motion with animation. Mixing the two. That would be weird.
It'd be weird, but you know what? Weirder things have happened.
Messenger of Death, Grim Reaper, and the second is second meaning of Saja in Korean. Okay.
Okay. Someone did their research.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I like to do. I didn't do it for this one, but I like to do trivia. For certain movie research and trivia and throw that in. Didn't do it with this one, so thank you for your contribution. I appreciate it. Tyler, is it
Carnes?
Carnes?
Yeah.
I just want to make sure I pronounce it right. And I remember you as Koreans.
Wow. Okay.
Koreans can be Christians too.
Someone needs new glasses.
Yes, I do. As Christians, does this movie portrayal of demons as mischievous monsters trivialize their serious nature in our faith? Should we be cautious about how demons are depicted in films aimed at kids?
Absolutely.
I
think we've mentioned that before in this.
You did mention earlier.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was with us, but we're going to dig into that a little bit deeper with this here too. So yes, you are correct. As much as the praise has been for the movie, that is an aspect of it. And that's why you guys were saying it would have been better to call them monsters.
Essentially.
Yeah.
It's more of a
I
generic
would definitely given a lower rating.
Now, why is it that it seems in Japanese anime especially, the devil, demons, and things like that, Christian, I don't know, maybe
it's their culture. It's how they've interacted with their understanding of spirituality, and it's deeper rooted.
Okay. So is it lost in the translation? I mean, it
can be. I remember, what is it? There's an anime it tries to be more Christian-y. It's was it Blue Exorcist? Still completely missed the mark. But they do use Bible verses, but they just throw out random Bible verses and destroy demons. And it's like, okay, hold on.
And Rebecca went to fetch water. Boom.
Yeah, that sort of level. It's like, okay, I understand what you're trying to do, but the Bible is not incantations. It's not some sort of sorcery.
No, that's a good point. It is
the
word. The word of God is the sword of the Spirit, but it's not mystical like that. It's not like you said an incantation that you.
Yeah, it's the mix of the East versus West, where they're trying to appeal to more, or at least integrate some of the concepts into their culture, and it runs into.
Well, I think spirituality is more integrated into just their art, their music, their theater, just like it's a part of.
But godless though, right?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I mean,
so is it Shintoism or Taoism or something in one of those Eastern religions that's big thing in Japan?
Shinto
is does that have the demons but no God? No one single
bunch
deity.
Of more of
maybe the
polytheism, more of the concept of more everything having a spirit, everything having demons being involved, their gods involved. There's God of, and it's more like regional things.
So if there is a malevolent spirit, they might just say the translation for that is a demon.
Yes.
and then that gets translated for us, and then we compare
but
the
then
two.
that's not
Yeah.
That's
same
not the same
concept
thing,
Yeah,
right?
as we would think of it.
Right.
Because they might think of malevolent spirit that's just evil at this time, and it can be good in the future. Maybe it's just a mischievous one, and it can, repent and be better. Not Christian concept of demons.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
More
another
people, more like fallen people.
Okay, so another one from Mystic Dolphin. She says, all Christians who watch this movie multiple times, I think she's a fan. The messages are fantastic. Guima, the Demon King, is a corollary to the devil, the accuser voice of shame that attacks by fear and shame at you. There is a
There's
lot of
good
crossover.
parallels there,
Yeah.
yes.
Mhm.
There's a lot of crossover to that. And when we talk about, so if anybody's a new viewer here, and it seems like we have a few, if all the reviews that we've done on these movies, we tend to look, even if they're not Christian movies, tend to look, say, okay, what's the Christian theme here?
Mm.
Is there something that we can use as a message to someone who's not a believer to say, it's just like in that movie here when such and such happened, and use that as a springboard of conversation to something deeper, a kingdom principle that you want to be able to share with somebody who's not a Christian. Because as Christians, we got a bunch of Christianese over here, and we speak in our own language sometimes,
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
we want to be relatable and be able to give that message to someone who has never stepped into a church or never even had a desire to, but they've seen these movies. So now we could use it as a way to explain that.
Yeah.
So that's the reason for it. And Morgan and meh. I'm going to put this up, and I'm going to do my best to pronounce this.
Favorite song from
Mahalik?
the movie.
Oh, wow.
Morgan Mahalik?
Song from the movie.
What is your favorite song from the movie?
Don't know.
Oh.
None of the above.
I think the one I would say. So we did get into spoiler section here. I would say the one that Rumi was struggling with to change the words so that it wasn't. And I was thinking it was the big one they were coming out, the golden one.
This is what it sounds like.
golden
That's the
one.
ending song.
That's the ending one.
Okay, where instead of being like I hope all these demons die, it kind of thought it was like
Oh.
we need to find out what's holding these people down.
Yeah. So that was
And that's-
Takedown. What was what the song?
I'm glad
the
you know
negative
these
one?
things, 'cause I don't.
I can name all the songs.
Yeah, that would, in Christian concepts, the actual Christian concepts, that would parallel more like these are people who are pursuing evil, who have been corrupted, maybe even promoting evil, but they're not demons themselves. They can still be saved. They can still be redeemed.
Yep.
That would be more the Demon King guy is more of what a demon actually is, which is just desiring the downfall of everyone. And the minion demons are more of, in the Christian mindset, would be more of the
Compromised,
compromised,
people. Yeah.
corrupted
Mhm.
people who may or may not realize what they're doing is evil.
Right.
So that in that case, you could see the redemption process. You can see salvation being there as we are teeny tiny.
Sorry, I'm trying to say
There's a lot of buttons.
Yes. Okay.
So, yeah, that would be my 2 cents in as far as parallel with Christianity. That would be more what the mindset should be. As far as young Christians, I wouldn't recommend this movie for young Christians.
No, because
You
they
should
would
know the theology.
mess them up. Yeah. Or if you do watch it with your kids, make sure you sit down and say, "Hey,
Explain.
you know,
Yeah, it counts on the age of your kids. Like my
Right.
kids won't watch it for quite some time until they're much older.
okay.
Just because, again, I want them to get the theological foundation first, and then from that they can see the rest of it
okay."
and understand this is what their views are.
We can get
Not
to
correct.
answer our favorite song, guys.
Oh yeah, we didn't answer the favorite. I told mine. What are your favorite songs?
None of the above.
All right.
I don't know. They're all
All right,
catchy.
you're a
they're
fanboy.
they're all annoying. They're all irritating and enjoyable to listen to. But yeah, irritating as it gets stuck in
Okay,
your
they
head.
do get stuck in my head.
And then
quite a
he
bit.
just always plays. But they're enjoyable to listen to.
Yeah.
And I can see why they would be such a
I'm
big hit.
surprised you don't have a Saja Boys shirt on right here.
I just rip it off. And
yeah, you
it's
do.
Huntrix underneath.
Oh,
And
no.
then rip that
It's
off,
just
and it's Saj
rip.
Boy.
So what is your favorite song?
I think this is what it sounds like. It's probably my favorite, although Golden, I mean, it's hard to go wrong with that. And there's a lot of really interesting things they do, but that gets into more music theory, and I don't know if we have time for that. but the way that song is constructed, it's very interesting.
It would be interesting to hear.
I think each of the songs are actually very well constructed.
They work with
in a
their
way.
shoulders.
Well, that works.
Well, that's a soda pop.
Yeah. But it's catchy. It gets in your head. It's
okay. So we're going to get into what makes this work. So think that in your back of your mind. You've seen this movie and you think, okay, what really made this movie work? As an author, I want to know that because I want to be able to capture some of that in my writings to be able to relate to my audience. So before we do that, I'm going to make us teeny tiny and put us again in the trailer.
Let's get battle ready.
I can destroy the hunters for good. It's time for a new strategy.
You're all I can think of. Every drop I drink up. You're my soda pop, my little soda pop.
Okay.
very early, but
We're making this
very well
PG
done.
rated. Okay.
PG, it was PG.
it was PG rated. The thing is, I gotta watch. I can only show so much
Yeah.
at a time. So, sorry for all you ladies out there who want to see
the
more.
abs.
Yeah, see the abs.
I think they look cooler beforehand. I like the hat.
We should all have name tags. My name is Ab Smith. You're Ab Jones. You're Ab Miller. We're the abs. So what does make this work? And we'll go through this. And I'm also going to keep an eye on the chat here. But what do you guys think? Start with you first because we got Fanboy over here and we want to get his input. But sorry, what do you think, Eric?
As far as why this works, why it's catching on, I think at the base for a lot of people, it's not pushing the agenda. Therefore, it's decent on its own. Just for that alone, I think the mixture of humor really pushes it over, as well as the catchy lyrics and the catchy songs. I mean, those are pretty golden, but then they have just how realistic as far as how you can identify with the characters themselves. All of them good on the good and the bad side. You can identify with them. And I mean, I don't know how many times I've seen toys of that little like lion cat thing around.
Oh, yeah.
That thing is everywhere.
Big eyes, yeah.
But it starts off looking dark, but yet you can identify with it. And they do good. And it doesn't even say a word or sing one bit of the songs, but you can identify with it.
Personality.
It has a good personality that you can grasp onto. So I think their characters are one of the major driving factors.
Okay.
That's it.
What are your thoughts? What makes it so good?
So I think this was a movie that came out in the middle of people looking for more genuine, relatable animation. And I think that in contrast to other attempts of this, I think this was just very refreshing. I think a good comparison, and we kind of talked about this before, because the whole girl boss fad is strong. I want to compare it to another movie that came out, and I don't know if you guys saw the Barbie movie.
I've seen it.
You've seen it, okay? So an interesting thing, and I think this is just one element. In order to get the girls to seem more competent, they really had to dumb the guys down.
Yeah,
and it's like it was done in a humorous way, but at the same time, it just made the characters less likable because like, oh, they're only smart because they have this to compare it to. Where in this case, the guys and like everyone were very competent and just almost as like complex in some ways. They had a backstory. They had like their own things going on, and so it kind of gave you a fair fight. Mm-hmm. Maybe mm-hmm. is a good way to put it.
Yeah. And
at the same time, we saw these girls that were very much so unsure at times, but also highly competent at other times. And the times they were competent were just fun. The animation, like the battle sequences, how they were very cavalier about so many of these things, which is just so easy to watch. but I think it was only easy to watch because you knew how human they were in other aspects of their life. They weren't demeaning really in any way. They had crushes on the boys, and the boys were better, and they recognized they were better than them in a couple ways, but they were still determined. They just had that good-natured spirit of, being determined to be better, and it just wrapped it all up in a package. It was just characters that you could really root for.
Okay.
I think it was just really character driven in that regards.
I would agree, and I would say that there was one thing that humor is important, but I think it's probably one of the least aspects of this that draws people in. I would say that there are characters that especially this target audience can identify with, that are struggling with their own personal baggage, their own shame that's in the background that they're holding on to. For the main character, Rumi, she's half demon, so that goes through, which is the theology on that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But besides that, it's like she's half monster, so she's trying to hide that part of her because she's fighting monsters at the same time. So she's got that, and then they have to work together, and they've got the romance in there, all that kind of stuff. This really hits their target audience just right. So I think for that reason, it's good. So I'm going to check what you
guys give us your opinions. Let us know what you think in the chat. Are you fanboys or a bit more level-headed and
level-headed? Whoa! Let's have some fun. Have some fun.
Yes.
Come on.
All right. So a Mythic Dolphin said Shinto from Japan honors ancestors and protective spirits of nature. Korea has Confucius and Buddhism roots. Christianity is the second most followed religion in South Korea today. That is true. It's very strong. Christianity is very strong there in South Korea. So you would think that, I don't know, what would the translation? I wonder what the Korean words for these demons would be if they're the same.
I don't know.
As
Yeah.
Gotta be careful with those word uses sometimes. Thank you for telling us your favorite songs. I like
dun dun dun.
Okay, thank
that
you.
was a great opening song. That really set the tone really well in the movie.
My daughter is 10. Friends have 8-month-old, 3-year-old, 5-year-old. We all watch it. No problems. Kids watch this. Be yourself. Accept yourself is a great message. I would agree and disagree, and I'll tell you why. The accept yourself, you're good in all things means there's no room for improvement. Number one. Number two is I've been careful what I let my kids watch because it's laying a foundation for things, and they can misconstrue, misidentify. You establish that this is what demons are early in their life, and they think that this is the way they go.
And believe me, do not play with those. No.
I think the whole "be yourself" message is a really interesting one. It has some interesting roots from like the 90s that it would be interesting to deconstruct that idea in itself. I don't know if we have time for it in this movie review, but
there's a good thing for self-expression, and other positive aspects like that. But it can be. I'm not trying to come down on you or anything like that. I'm just want to see there's.
Well, historically, it was countering another message, right? But then it kind of went maybe too far in the other direction. I think it's kind of what may have happened there.
Good discussion for another time.
I think
there's a value to have confidence in yourself as far as where you are, but at the same time, where you're getting that validation from is critical. If you get the validation from the God who created you, who sustains you and knows you perfectly and loves you no matter what, if that is what you're confident in, absolutely. But if you're just confident because this is how I feel, and this action here makes me feel good, and this is how I want to identify. No, it's the foundation's not there.
Yeah,
but I don't know if many people think of that when they say it. It's just a general positive idea, but you just gotta be careful with it.
Yeah, we are all unique. There's a lot of there's 99% the same, but there's a lot of uniqueness. I don't know about 99%, but there's a lot of uniqueness that is there too, where we each have our own strengths and so forth, our own gifting. So that part's good. I do want to say this. Sorry.
That one
yes, we did. Okay, she did. My favorite songs, What It Sounds Like, Golden, and Free, and How It's Done. Tie
Oh,
free.
free is an interesting one. That would be
It's a tie.
Oh, okay, yeah. Just love all of them.
They mix two popular cultural phenomenons, K-pop and anime. What's fascinating to me is its outside American culture as a source goes to show people will hunt down what they want if they can find it. I think those are a couple of good points. That you are mixing two things that have been popular on their own.
And again, when it comes to anime, I think one of the strong suits with the anime sort of concept is the fact that they'll throw out random gosh darn ideas and do 20 episodes or 12 episodes of
deep dive into this
concept, and if it grabs on, it grabs on. If it's not, we'll ditch it.
What was that reincarnated as a
vending machine?
There's
the anime called I was reincarnated as a vending machine in a dungeon.
Yeah, they need to get a better marketing team, maybe.
Well, it worked.
Did it really?
Yeah, that was huge.
Gosh.
Yes. That was
Well,
huge for
I
a
guess you
while.
can get away with it.
You try, so you try different things, see what works. So I think those are all good things about what made the movie works and what didn't. I'm going to throw a couple things out here, see what you guys say about them around a little bit. Rumi was hiding her shame, and Jinnu, if I'm pronouncing his name correctly, Jinnu, was finding freedom for his soul. You had the two there.
Okay.
Sort of.
He was, at least that he was presenting it that way, right?
Yes, he was
but at the same
presenting
time,
it that
maybe
way.
he was actually trying to.
He was-
it was a weird.
He was trying to
double
forget his
agent.
past.
Yeah.
What he had done.
Yeah.
So they were both hiding their shame in that regard.
Sure.
Yes.
And he lied about how he became a demon, essentially, and that was another theme that was strong, was this idea of withholding information or hiding. Rumi's was interesting, though, the half demon thing. So here's my bigger critique of the story itself.
Okay.
I think that instead of her being half demon, like from birth, I think she should have done something that was like essentially sinful that would have given her those markings. Because right now, those markings just represent something that was out of her control anyways. And she felt very shameful of something that she didn't do. Where like she moved, well, like he did something, like, and he earned that. And I think that was a lot more compelling of an idea.
I think this goes back to what culture is coming out of. It's coming out of an honor shame culture. And because of that, you have the honor and shame of the family that was involved with it. So I'm thinking that's where her shame comes from, is from the family aspect of it.
Like
And-
she was ashamed that her father was a demon. Which is,
Well, then she's got this conflict, because how can I fight against them if I am one of them?
yeah.
So there's that internal struggle there. So I think so. Here's a Christian theme. We haven't really gotten into the Christian themes as much. Yeah, but we need to push through this so we can. But I'm going to go ahead hit one right now. This one I hadn't seen before. You have Jinnu, who is the guy. He is a demon because he did something bad in his past. It's an evil thing, and he did it as an exchange to get something good, right?
Yep.
Whereas Rumi is half demon because of birth. So we have two aspects of sin here. We have, and this is in the book of Romans, we have the sin that we do. And then in Romans chapter 5, talking about the sin nature that we are, because we're born into a sin nature.
I guess that's an interesting way to put it.
So for two reasons, and this is not a bad way to communicate this truth to someone, is to say that Rumi she was born this as an evil thing. No fault of her own, but she is. And the only way in Christianity for you to overcome that is to be born with a new nature, leaving your old nature behind.
Sure. But wasn't it weird that like no one else had this issue like that was in the movie? Like why wasn't everyone else born with some type of,
Oh, I guess so. But I'm just talking about from a thematic standpoint.
Okay.
That this is something that you can communicate to someone that say,
Yeah.
we have our individual sins, and then we as a species are born under this burden.
Yeah. So, but like, how? So she has this thing, but would she feel any shame of it if it wasn't for the fact that it was, physically apparent on her body?
That's a good question. No, she was trying to cover it. So if she didn't have to cover it, then maybe she wouldn't feel ashamed.
Yeah. Anyone getting Frozen vibes from this one? Let it go. Let it go.
So one of the songs that we said that
we know who likes some musicals.
Yes.
I'm not a big fan of Frozen.
One of the songs that I said that I really liked was the lyrics that are in there are, when your pattern starts to show, I see your pain that lies below. Okay. She was talking about them, but she was also talking about herself.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right.
There was a lot of double meanings in a lot of the lyrics of the music, actually.
So with that, it's showing she saw the struggle that those demons had, and they wanted to find release and do this. Now, again, not real demons. Sorry. More like monsters, right?
Yeah.
That were doing that.
More like corrupted people.
Yeah.
Yes.
They have the option of salvation. They have the option of redemption, but yet still.
Yeah. Could
dark.
the demons be redeemed in this movie? That was the big
Yes.
question. They could?
They could.
Like, what was it? Was that the end? Was that him being redeemed? You think
That was
so?
him being redeemed.
Interesting, but
Because you
did
see
he
the color
die?
changes. He turns blue, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, his soul turns blue, and then like infuses with her sword, and now she's got a soul sword.
He has to die. This is Asian anime.
I'm glad he died.
It actually, there's again
Hot
no
take.
greater love
You're
than this.
cruel. I'm
I
not
know.
reading any of your books.
No, I think that was really well written. I wouldn't want the whole like off into the sunset romance ending for
Yeah,
a movie
that's
like
true.
this.
That's true.
I know a lot of people are upset. They wanted to see more of that relationship develop. They wanted to see a little bit more romance. I was really fine with where it left the romance.
Okay.
Because I think the story was it wasn't about the romance primarily. I think it was about like more about their inward journey rather than.
And no, so he had to make that sacrifice.
Well, that and
Yeah.
his redemption.
Yeah.
He got there because of selfishness. He got out of there because of self-sacrificing. Basically, is the
Yeah.
That's a good point.
And
So-
I think that's good. Yeah.
So that's a good springboard for us then to change it a little bit and talk about demons in Asia versus the Bible. Just like you had that one concept that you're talking about that finds his redemption from that. There's a lot of actions that sometimes we need to make in our own lives to kind of make up for past wrongs and so forth. That a step we need to make that might be hard. But ultimately, what covers our past mistakes and problems that type of thing isn't going to be sufficient, because there's a much deeper wound, a much deeper mark that's been made on each of us, both by what we did and what we're born with. And that can only be taken care of by the blood of Christ. Period. End of subject. Finale. Why? Because we're eternal beings, and that's an eternal solution. Anything we do down here on our own is just going to be temporary, that it can't last forever like that. So that's where that part comes in. So let's talk about demons in Asia versus demons in the Bible. Demons in this movie, what are their origins?
corrupt. From what I gathered, at least as far as what this movie tried to show, was these are corrupted individuals. These were people who were corrupted. At least that's the case with Genu himself. Was once a person, maybe even a good person, but basically sold his soul to the devil.
Yeah.
In order to obtain something.
I think it was a little ambiguous, though. I feel like some of the people, because whenever like the demons got the souls of the humans that were on Earth, did those then become demons in the whole crowd, or did they get fed to the?
It definitely fed, because they did. If you listen carefully, they're saying a large number of people have come up missing, so they're gone.
Okay,
but
like what are they now?
Yeah,
are they just like dead? I was trying to figure out, like, in the movie when someone lost their soul, if they were kind of going down that route, like what they were doing before. They were kind of singing one of the Sasha Boy songs, which was like, maybe supposed to be more like a representation of going down the dark path. I don't know if if it's that deep, or if it's just kind of spiritual warfare has then descended upon the people. It didn't matter what they were doing. I'm not really sure.
I don't know either. It wasn't
ambiguous.
It wasn't explored.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, so that's the origins there, is that maybe they are people that sold their soul to this devil, this demon. Guima, is that the name? Guimu. Sold it to him, and then therefore he can use them as tools to bring in more souls to feed on. What are the origins of demons in the Bible?
Fallen angels.
Fallen angels.
Angels that rebelled against the Lord.
Not human beings.
No.
But a different species altogether, whatever that species is. A spiritual being.
Some weird extraterrestrial. Yeah. Essentially.
Dimensional.
And so, that's even a better word.
So they're not human beings. There's something else that were originally created by God, good, and then got corrupted with the devil and his angels, that type of thing. Okay, so what do they feed? You already mentioned this in this movie. What do they feed on? Or at least the big guy. What he feeds
the souls of the humans, essentially.
And do we know anything about that in terms of what the goal of demons are, biblical demons?
I imagine, like, my take on that would be to put a wedge between, God's creatures and God himself, essentially trying to separate them and to show how they can
so then you just talked about a big element that's in Christian theology and not that's not in here. We talked about it earlier with some of the Eastern religions. There is no one central deity. That's there. And so demons then are trying to wedge. The reason why is because demons have lost. The war is done, and all they're doing now is guerrilla warfare and trying to hurt the creator as much as possible, because they know that if they hurt us, they end up hurting him and try to drag as many of us down.
So you're saying there's no need for any K-pop music to keep the demons?
No need for K-pop, but maybe something else.
Rule of music.
Yes, and that's coming down the pike. How? And that brings us to the last question here. How do we defeat them? How were they defeated in the story? How were demons defeated in the story?
With swords
and
daggers
and
cool moves, action sequences,
and music. Right?
Oh yeah.
They're held off by the music, at least the portal or whatever things that come through, and maybe
the Hamoon.
Yes,
Hamoon.
And defeated by melee combat. Whatever those swords were, maybe there's something mystical with the swords, don't know, but they defeat him that way. How are they defeated in the Bible?
Exorcisms.
Blood of the Lamb.
And the word of their testimony, and love not their lives in death. So that's Revelation. Also, if you look at Ephesians chapter 6, 10 through 20, it talks about spiritual armor. But that armor is not like some kind of mystical thing that's going on. Is that as we draw closer to God, the enemy has to go because there's no room for him at all, and gets pushed out of their lives.
Isn't it interesting though? Like if demons were defeated by the blood of the Lamb, do they have any power now? Like if they're defeated?
Good question. What power does that defeated enemy have?
It doesn't seem like
the lie.
The lies.
And lies.
So if they're able to lie, they have some type of voice. So they're able to pluck at some type of strings here on Earth. So are they not completely defeated then?
They are defeated. It's sort of like if a conquering force goes and takes a nation, that nation is then subjugated to the other bigger conquering force. Although you do have guerrilla warfare sometimes going on in the mountains.
Okay,
they are a defeated force, but they continue to pester. And in Revelation, you see when the final defeat, where he's bound and thrown into the lake of fire. So that's completed. So they are defeated, but they still have some action that they can take.
Sure.
So, all right. So I'm going to take a look at.
We got a bunch of questions.
We do. We have a bunch in chat here. Let me see. I'll make sure that I do this right. Gosh, because there's some good ones in here. Sorry, I got so tied into talking to you guys. I think right here. I think this one is probably the next one in line.
Barbie, yeah.
You want to read this one?
Oh, just concerning Barbie?
Yeah.
Ken was always an accessory to Barbie, according to Mattel. So the Barbie movie had the male characters written as accessories to the Barbies. Yeah, no, that's fair. And I think that thematically that makes sense. It's just, it made it seem that like the guys were just dumb, and it made the girls seem less smart because of that. So it's thematically correct, though.
It did work with Mattel, according to Mattel's.
Yeah, I just don't agree with the message.
Worldview. And then, would you say Eastern demons are more like jinn? That's a question for you.
Sort of, kind of, maybe, because in Islam it would be more compatible. So of course, paganism would be more compatible with paganism. What a big surprise! So the concept of jinn would be more of, can be bad, spiritual elements, can be good. They're not angels, they're not demons. They're sort of like this in-between wishy-washy thing.
Like a fairy.
More neutral.
Kind of like fae.
Chaotic neutral.
But
yes,
no, because they can be chaotic. It's really the story.
True neutral.
Whatever they want in the story. So I'd say similar in a lot of ways, but that would make at least a bit of a distinction, because whenever you're talking jinn, you're not talking demons necessarily, because part of the Quran is actually written from a jinn's perspective. Don't ask how the eternal word of God can be written by a jinn. That's just a thing.
We do have the satanic verses too.
They have the satanic verses. There's a lot of issues with the Quran.
So here's a question from Thomas Hall. Would you say Eastern demons are more? Oh, excuse me. I am so sorry. Yes. Okay. Another one. Mystic demon. Mystic dolphin.
Wow.
Very loud.
Where's the editor?
That was bad.
Sorry, Mystic dolphin. There was no Freudian slip there. Jinnu is a redeemed demon in KPop Demon Hunter. His eyes turned human when he got his soul back. See, I thought there was something there.
So he got it back? I thought he released it. So I don't know.
Well, he was being devoured. It looks like he was being devoured from
Okay.
behind, so I couldn't really tell.
Either way,
she said,
yes, the redemption thing.
Then he gave his soul willingly to Rumi.
And
His soul
heart.
amplified her spiritual sword and weapon against. I thought so, because isn't there like a kind of circular blue, and blue they were using as something positive.
Her sword powered up,
and it came around her.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I think that
Yeah.
So even though he died, he gave her.
See, most crushes give your heart. This guy gave his soul.
Wow. Yeah. Okay, so thematic analysis. Then we talked a bit about the difference between demons in this movie and Asian philosophy a bit, and versus the Bible. Thematic analysis. Now, this is the war within, and this is probably some of the best stuff that can come out of this, because you see characters that you get involved with, and they're struggling with some things that they're hiding and so forth. What about this war within, and how can this be used as a message of redemption? Say, you have this in the Bible, and here's the good answer for that. Here's how you get your redemption, just like she did from here. Is there anything that you guys would want to add to that, or
I think we covered it pretty thoroughly just in our analysis, but
yeah, I think at the end, I think when she came back to finish the fight, essentially, like I wish some of the wording, I was confused, because she said, the demon was essentially saying like, hey, everyone knows your secret. The Hamun's defeated. Like, what's the point of even being here? And she was just like, yeah, agreeing with him. But then she's like, I'm making a new one. And I wanted to know a little bit what is this like. And the best thing that I could come up with is maybe the previous one, when she was singing and they were doing that. There was still like a sense of a lie, because she was holding back the truth about like her past or who she was. And so it couldn't be completed that way. But now that the truth is out there, there's nothing holding back from being like, because in the lyrics of This Is What It Sounds Like, she talks about how these are my words, the words of the truth could not hold back, something like that. And essentially saying that, like, hey, we can now sing and without me with this dark secret that I'm holding on to anymore.
Right. That's not holding her back like it did before with her.
Yeah. And so maybe they're
being honest.
Yeah, they're being honest. Yeah.
So it seems like, did you want to add anything to that, Eric?
Just that is something that the true enemy actually does a lot of times. They will lie and manipulate and try to cover it up, saying, no, you've already lost. It's already a done deal.
Don't tell anyone about this thing.
Yeah. No one will ever understand you. You just need to cover this up. You just need to hide this. And it's like, no.
Yeah.
We're not. No sin out there is unique. We've all gone through sins ourselves, and there's someone there that has overcome this that will be there to help you if you reach out.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like we've all kind of gone, and maybe you're currently, I don't know, like there's that secret sin, that still like holds on to us as individuals, and like I can't let that person know about this thing. Like I can be open in Bible study or in small group about these other things, but that one I'm gonna hold on to that one a little bit, and there's still just in the back of your mind. Even as much as you're connecting and growing in Christ, it's still just like, but what if they knew?
Yeah.
Don't tell them about this.
That was fear of
They'll
rejection.
Never understand that. Yeah, that's the sort of lie you get from the enemy a lot.
Yeah.
No, you pull that out into the light, you show it, it's going to hurt. But in the end, you can overcome with Christ.
You could still be rejected, though.
Oh, yeah.
You could be, yeah.
Oh, like I said, it could hurt. It can hurt a lot.
Yeah.
So
it's purifying.
I got another comment here from Tyler. He says, does the constant need to clarify demons aren't real demons show the movie's use of the term is problematic?
Yes.
This hit kids film doesn't clarify, nor will its sequels. I agree with you 100% that it wouldn't. And that's where discussions like this come in. And I wouldn't say that this is a show necessarily that say, hey, you guys got to go watch the show. But if you do know someone who has, and it brings it up in conversation, then you can relate to it and bring out these other truths.
Yeah.
So that's why I think having understanding of where they're coming from, the good parts too, because you see these people, the characters that are struggling.
Sure.
And if you understand that, hey, maybe the person watching this was also struggling with his or her own hidden sin or shame.
I do think that the marketing is interesting. I wonder, so I like it that it's a PG movie just because it was fun and more innocent in that regards. But because it gets that PG rating, it is more geared towards kids, which therefore younger audience would watch this, and therefore a younger audience would maybe get a false perception of what a demon is.
Yeah.
So that is just the biggest downside of this whole movie and franchise. It's just a real bummer.
And muddying the waters in that regard.
Yeah. So Mythic Dolphin says there are different kinds of demons in Korean culture. Some are bad, some are helpful, some are just investigate mischief and instigates mischief. Sajas are the demons that escort the newly departed into the afterlife. So I guess it's maybe if you know someone who's Korean, it'd be good to know where we're coming from that standpoint. It would be good to know. But for most people watching, they wouldn't get that. They would just have this other impression of what demons are in general. And that's I guess not.
Yeah. So relating back to the question beforehand, that's a lot more like Jin than the
K-pop Jin Hunter. Like that, man.
I would have gone with the Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
I think that's a term that is very popular.
Yeah.
The Monster Hunter label. I think it would have done just as well under that as it would Demon Hunter.
Okay, so they've got a pretty good discussion going back and forth in here. So I don't have time to hit everything. I'll just highlight a little bit of it. Thomas Hall said, that's why it's important to discuss with your kids when you watch them. Try not to turn it into saying it's all demonic, but have a convo about what is good and why. And I think you really hit the nail on the head there. We tried with our kids when raising them to say, have these conversations and make sure it's age appropriate when they could understand these concepts. You don't really get abstract thought in children until they hit early adolescence or maybe even preteen to be able to deal with just something other than something as concrete. And younger children like that, they see something like this and they think that's the way things are. So you got to kind of be careful in how you navigate that.
Sure.
Yeah. Kids are not at that.
Your kids are not there.
They're still at the concrete level. Like take
literal.
way too much literally. It's like, no, that's figurative, or that's just a story. That's not actually what happened. And correct it from there.
Okay. All right. So, you guys want to add anything else to the movie at all? Any last comments as you go?
It's a good one all in all, I'd say. Overall, with the exception again of the demon aspect, just clarify that, and it's good. And I think that is the point. In fact, that's what what they're pointing out in the comments. I think what Thomas Hall was pointing out is kind of the reason why we're having this conversation. Why we're even doing this live stream. You're going to run into people who've watched this movie. There's no doubt about it with how popular it is right now.
Yeah.
So how do you clarify what's truth and fiction and relate to a biblical topic based upon that?
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing here.
This movie, for some reason, like, besides all the problematic things, for something about this, I really want to root for more movies like this. There's something that has an X factor. And I think we talked a lot about what those reasons are, but I just want more fun movies like this that I kind of want to spend time in that world. They brought it to life in such a way that I feel like the worlds they created nowadays are just like, I don't know if there's too many rules or if it's too preachy or if the characters are just flat and one-dimensional. Just this weird combination of things. Like, I just want movies more to be like this. And even like American movies that could have more of an adjacent kind of more Christian theme to it. I spent some time thinking about like, okay, how could we turn KPop Demon Hunter into a Christian allegory, almost like Lord of the Rings would be, and it's actually kind of an interesting study. It would be interesting to talk. I don't know if we have time to do it now, but like I do feel like a twist here and a twist there and a renaming here and there. I think you could have like an allegory towards a Christian theme, and I just want
very easily.
So it was very close.
Yeah.
There's the concept of redemption. There's the concept of, even though they are evil to our concept and we're pushing back against what they're doing, basically their words, pushing back against their words, they aren't absolutely evil. They're not absolutely corrupted. They're still an option. That's Christian-y as far as from a believer to a non-believer. Not to a demon, obviously, that would have to be renamed.
Yeah.
Now, the absolute evil dude, again, that definitely fell under the demon category.
I would have liked some type of power or like entity that would have represented God in some way. The closest thing we had was like the Han-Moon, like kind of like, it was kind of like, it's kind of like the Holy Spirit keeping the warfare back as kind of what I kind of took it as, but it was not.
So you could use, I think you could use those as analogies.
Sure. The Holy Spirit's not reliant on K-pop singers.
No.
One thing
I didn't mention about this is a key in spiritual warfare, though, I believe, is worship as God. So as we draw closer to God through worship, there is a defeat of the enemy that goes with that as well.
Yeah.
And so there's some of that you do see in C.S. Lewis's group tape letters where he talks about some of that. I do want to read a little bit basic because we're talking about spiritual warfare. This is Ephesians 6, verse 12, for we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the cosmic powers over this present darkness, against the spiritual forces of evil in heavenly places. Heavenly places being the spiritual realm, not talking about heaven, demons in heaven. It's talking about demons and all. So this is talking about that. And in the Bible, there's different various methods that are done with that, but most of it has to do with don't focus on them, focus on Jesus, and the rest will fall into place with that. I'm going to take a quick look at. Yes, go ahead.
Quick note for StreamYard, by the way, they now got question marks next to questions. If you look at the chat, they pull out anyone that leaves a question at the end of a sentence. It now pops
like
up
this
with
one
a little
here.
icon.
Final movie rating being out of 5 stars. Okay, generally speaking, you might have said at the beginning.
10.
We usually do 10, so
we'll give it
divide by
let's
two, divide by
it.
2, and so you get the same thing, right? And we did not do that rating. I didn't. We usually do.
Let's do it.
But yeah, since you're asking,
Fan
Give the
request.
people
We'll
what
go
they
for it.
want.
we'll go for it, just for you. You guys go first. I'll go last.
Go ahead. You go first.
I know, big number.
This was
Roll the
really
dice.
tough.
Out of 10.
I mean, out of 10?
Yeah. It's
Okay, out of 10. Gosh, I'd give it an 8.
Oh, I
I
thought it'd be
know.
more towards 9 or 10.
Yeah, I want to give a 9 so bad. It's with the messaging, unlike the wording, just holds it back.
That's
enough.
a good point.
What
would you say, Eric?
About it too.
3.
3?
Sorry. No.
Well,
We'll mess with you. No, 7.
7. Okay.
7
That is
I
higher
thought
than you
there's
thought. This
good,
guy holds back so much.
Yeah.
I have never given 10. I've given plenty.
I thought you did. I'm going to say
No. One time I gave 1 10.
Godzilla minus 1.
No, I
No,
don't.
that was a
9.
great movie.
That was
Ooh,
it was
that's nice.
another
I'd like to
Asian
review
one.
that one, please.
I would also give it an 8. I think cinematically it was well done. Although at the beginning I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to watch this. But overall, and then again, it's harmed by if they just change the name,
So close.
not to do it. And if somebody says, well, it's just a name, yeah, right. Well, what are the bad guys you called? I don't know. You called the bad guys Jews all the time. Now you're anti-Semitic. So names do matter. They do. They do have a point there. So that
again, it comes with some sort of preconceived notion that we have in our brains that even what they are trying to portray isn't exactly what we are automatically imagining in our head. So that means the words need to be used. Different words need to be used because it's not communicating correctly.
I love the chat. I'm not putting everything up, but I love the chat.
What is that?
Okay, I don't know if you. I don't know. Maybe.
No kids yet.
Yes. Go ahead and read this.
Oh, no kids yet, but wouldn't let them watch this. They start with Left Behind. Graduate Ticket. God's Not Dead 2. Pulp Fiction.
Whoa! Wow! Okay, I think we got different
education on that one.
Yeah, it was definitely education. StreamYard does something special with questions.
Yes, it does.
And yeah, for us in the side there, we'd also put the chat up on the side. With the chat being this lively, I probably should have put it up today, but I didn't know. Sometimes it can be not as lively.
It's still beta.
We listened to the songs.
Oh, the cycle. Oh, that makes so much sense. This is a great cycle class song. You know, when you got on your bikes, and you're like, let's go, girls. Let's go, girls. Come on. You're not done yet. You're not done. Go.
Okay.
This is what it sounds like. That boy band, were they really feminized?
And they were, but I found that hilarious. That scene was so fun to me. And like the abs. Okay, the abs were not feminized, at least. At least he was strong in that.
And
regard.
I've seen some.
That's a
Asian
very that culture
bands.
is very much into that.
That would be even the Asian boy bands in general. Yeah, that would be a correct.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm old school. I like.
It was so good. I don't know. I cracked up, and the music with that was just perfect.
So smash that like button, subscribe, and tell us in the comments what says where that you guys did a fantastic job in the comments. I'm not going to ask you to do anything with the comments. You guys were over the top. I was just about ready to sign off.
Someone's in trouble.
Fun fact.
Free fact. Demons not used in the KJV one time. Interesting. I didn't know that. Although the Greek is still the same, so that part doesn't matter. All right. So, Eric, do you have any recent releases or anything coming up soon that you want to share?
Yeah, I'll be on Reasoned Answers channel tomorrow at 1 p.m. EST to talk about to review the debate on the Islamic dilemma between David and a Muslim. So we're going to be taking a step through, I think, the first rebuttals there. So that should be fun. And that just looking at future live streams, what topics to hit. I should be back on Wednesday for a reaction live stream, doing that on my channel, and just moving forward.
Okay. Ryan, do you have anything you want to share in terms of coming up adventures?
Adventures?
So you don't have a YouTube channel, but where can people find you? They want to get a hold of you.
They want to track you down.
There's a website, I think. I have a website.
You want to give us a website to the name where you can put it in? Tell you what, I'll put the name of the website in the description. Will that work for you? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll update it. It's not currently in there right now, but I'll update it this evening. So as for me, I've been pulling back a little bit on live streams because I've been so focused on writing the next book. This is the book following. Sorry about that.
You're good.
The Healing Stone. The next one is The Stone Inside. That's going to be coming out next year. And then I've also been doing a lot of book signings, a lot of events going around to different places because of that, because of all my other obligations with life, work, and everything else. I've not been able to keep up with YouTube. So I appreciate all you guys' patience if you've been following me at all. And we will be eventually returning to Defenders of the West to talk about the next one in the series is John Hunyadi. He was one of the 8 that are mentioned in this book as defending crusaders against the encroachment of Islam on the West. This book by Raymond Ibrahim, highly recommended. Defenders of the West, the Christian heroes who stood against Islam. Fantastic book. We've gone through 4 of them. We have 4 more to go through yet. So, but it's been all good with that. So, with that, what?
Did you guys smash that bug earlier? No, we didn't.
No, I
It's
tried.
Still flying around.
Did you see it? Did you see it? Stupid bugs. Until then, stay courageous and walk in the light. And hopefully, we'll catch you again next time.
Oh, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.